first to gather my ingredients to make bread with yeast. 3 cups of flour. After putting my flour in the bowl, I need to get 3/4 of a teaspoon of yeast. Then you need to add 1.5 cups of slightly warm water to the mixture. After stirring the bowl, the mixture should look like this. And then you need to cover it in cooking spray and then put a plastic wrap over the bowl. And then you should let your bowl sit on the counter in a warm place for the next 8 hours.
Yeast is a tiny single-celled microorganism which uses fermentation to phosphorylate ADP and create energy. Baker's yeast is the yeast used as a leavening agent in baking. Fermentation is typically defined as the metabolic process converting sugar to acids, gases, and/or alcohol. Baker's yeast takes glucose and converts it into both a gas and alcohol. CO2 and ethanol are the products of the biochemical reaction in the yeast, the CO2 of which is what makes the dough rise, while the ethanol mostly evaporates from the bread, which is why we don't taste alcohol mixed in with all of our breads. A shorter way to say this is that the yeast eats the sugar and poops CO2 and ethanol. When the CO2 gets caught in the thick dough, it expands, which forces it to puff. It can, however, be slowed by the addition of too much sugar because that dehydrates it, killing it. That's where the baking powder and baking soda come into play. Because they're not living, the amount of sugar does not affect them. Hence why cake uses that, not yeast.